I'm headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, and you may not know it, but Ohio tends to be a key state in presidential politics. And so normally I've had on every Republican candidate or president since Ronald Reagan because if you come through Ohio, you want to be on my show.
Right.
Sarah Palin.
She understood that.
2 days after Dayton, she's going to come on my show. And I thought, this is good. The McCain thing happened the end of February.
Right.
We're moving on. This is now August. Bygones are bygones. It doesn't make sense to be alienating part of the conservative megaphones in this part of the country. Okay. Then I got a call from one of her people saying that the McCain people pulled her and she won't be on. And I said, why?
Well,
I didn't get an answer. And I said, well, I tell you what, McCain's going to have the same impact in Ohio as Bush 41 did in 92 and Bob Dole did in 1996. And they didn't want to hear that either.
Well, and of course, as you well know, in the counties, specifically in your listening area, the Republican ticket did the worst they had done in over a century. Gee, I wonder why.
Well, because McCain ran the campaign that Bob Dole ran.
Right, only worse.
Worse. It was terrible.
Yeah, and by the way, you'll love to know this because Sarah Palin says that her greatest regret, in fact, I believe her words are something close to the effect of "to the day she dies" or something like that. I will never understand, and I will always regret how the campaign handled the Reverend Wright situation, which I know you agree with,
yeah,
and I certainly agree with. And basically, they ran a completely wussified campaign that did not allow her to be herself and did not allow the truth to be told about Barack Obama. And she rightfully in the book takes great amount of time and effort to say, look, I've been vindicated by the first 10 months of the Obama administration. Look at what I said during the campaign and look at what has actually transpired.
Right.
And I think you'll find that her record is pretty outstanding in predicting what we would get with an Obama presidency.
What did she say about the interview with Katie Couric? There was a snippet out of Oprah that she said it was a disaster and that she was straitjacketed and she wanted to go back and the McCain people wouldn't let her.
Well, I laughed at that, Bill, because at Oprah snippet, because, I asked her exclusively about the Couric interview back in January, my interview for Media Malpractice, and that got quite a bit of media attention. And the clip that I got, the reaction I got from Sarah Palin was far more interesting, far more substantive, and frankly, far more controversial than anything that Oprah got out of her. People can see that for themselves at HowObamaGotElected.com. And in the book, Sarah Palin goes into great detail, as my documentary does, about not just the fact that Katie Couric was badgering her, as has already been reported,
right,
but also about what the subject matter was, which was the issue of abortion. And in the book, Sarah Palin actually says for the first time, which is new information even to me, how many times, which is an incredible number, which I'm not allowed by law to tell you until Tuesday, an incredible number of times that Katie Couric asked Sarah Palin specifically about the issue of abortion during their several interviews together, and it's beyond preposterous, and it's clearly because she was trying to paint Sarah Palin and desperate to paint Sarah Palin as a religious nut, and that was really the key to understanding it, as well, Bill, the CBS editing, which I believe I have proven in my documentary was beyond bias, was
right,
borderline criminal, and the notion that Katie Couric got a Walter Cronkite Journalism Award for that interview is just so far beyond preposterous.
Well,
it's not even worth mentioning.
The reason that Katie got that award is because she smeared Sarah Palin. And how is it Sarah Palin is a religious nut and Jeremiah Wright was not, the church that Obama went to for 20 years? John, can you hold on stay with me another segment?
Would love to.
All right, don't move. Stay right there. My guest